to me, the most important thing is to stay connected to your why. It's so easy to get lost, especially with AI helping us to create content. What I see is people forgetting why they're doing what they're doing and losing their creativity because they have AI available there to create content. I think it's important that we create our own content and use AI as an assistant, but not to build completely the contents.
Welcome to Career Coaching Secrets, the podcast where we talk with successful career coaches on how they built their success and the hard lessons they learned along the way. My name is Davis Nguyen, and I'm the founder of Purple Circle, where we help career coaches scale their business to $100,000 years, $100,000 months, and even $100,000 weeks. Before Purple Circle, I've grown several 7- and 8-figure career coaching businesses myself, and have been a consultant at 2 career coaching businesses that are doing over $100 million each. Whether you're an established coach or building your practice for the first time, you'll discover the secrets to elevating your coaching business.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Career Coaching Secrets podcast. I'm your host, Rexhen, and today's guest is Tanya Doucet, a certified leadership coach, speaker, and DISC consultant who is transforming the way insurance companies develop their leaders. With 20 years of first-hand experience in the insurance industry, rising from executive assistant to leadership, Tanya knows the unique challenges technical experts face when they're suddenly promoted into leadership roles without the tools or confidence to succeed. Through her company, TD Leadership, Tanya specializes in helping C-suite executives and those aspiring to climb to that level, along with underwriters, adjusters, and analysts, evolve from quiet experts into confident, respected, and empowering leaders. And it's a pleasure for me to have her on the podcast today. Welcome to the show, Tanya.
Thank you so much, Rexhen. It's so great to be here. Thank you for having me.
So, Tanya, I wanted to ask you, when it comes to your beginnings as a coach, first of all, what inspired you to go in this field into the coaching industry and then start your own coaching business?
This is one of my favorite questions. My journey to becoming a coach really was sparked by my own experience in the insurance industry and my passion for helping others unlock their own potential. I've always been drawn to leadership from day one. And even when I was in the thick of it, managing teams and navigating the challenges of climbing up the corporate ladder. So what truly inspired me to make coaching my career is my own personal transformation.
How long has it been? Is it more than a year now that you've started your coaching business, basically TD Leadership, or it's like almost 2 years from what I see in LinkedIn?
Yeah, so I initially was certified as a coach in August of 2022. After 20 years in the insurance industry, I left my corporate job. So it's almost 2 years now that I've been doing this full time.
Cool. And so when working in the last 2 years with your clients, with your coaching clients, and going through the coaching journey with them, what about it would you say you find most rewarding?
Oh my goodness. Hands down, seeing those sparks in my clients' eyes and having those aha moments when you know they pierce through what was blocking them and they find that light, that is by far my favorite moment.
Cool. And so how would you describe your ideal client profile? I know we mentioned in the intro as well that we are working with C-suite executives, aspiring C-suite executives, underwriters, adjusters, analysts, and we talked about it being in the insurance industry. Is there any more other commonalities that come up, or is it only in the insurance industry, or does it go beyond that? How would you describe the ideal client profile?
Yeah, so my niche clients are C-suite executives and professionals in the insurance industry, those aspiring to reach that level. And the reason I focus on the insurance industry is because that's where my background is. And I know and work through those leadership gaps, and I have the tools needed to help others in that industry. Would I help others in other industry? Of course. If someone wants specific coaching on how to reach their goals and break through their limitations, I would gladly be there for them. But my niche is definitely the insurance industry.
I like that you're niche down to a specific industry. And so how is the program like? I didn't mention this at the beginning, but there's 2 audiences that are usually listening to the podcast is either other coaches or is the audiences of the coaches who I've had on the podcast before. So there's also non-coaches who are listening to this that might fit this profile. So for them listening that would fit this profile, how would you describe the engagement that they have with you? Is there a certain program of a certain length? How is that like?
The first thing I do is I take them through a disc analysis profile. And the reason I do that is to allow them to see their communication styles. It allows them to see their strengths, their weaknesses, and also allows them to see and realize what their employees look like as far as the DISC assessment. So it allows them to see different profiles. Once we do that, then we get into the coaching sessions. So I do offer different levels of coaching sessions. We have the 3-month period, the 6 months, and the yearly.
And this is a question that coaches are going to be interested in. What marketing channel is working really well for you right now? Where do you find your clients?
So social media wise, my where I am the most is on LinkedIn and Instagram. Those are the two platforms that I use the most. But honestly, where I find my clients the most is networking events, live networking. So I go to either chamber events or Rotary Club events, or I'll go to insurance professionals conferences. So whether it's local or in different provinces, I make sure to participate in those events. And that's where I find most of my clients, to be honest.
Cool. And so mostly it's LinkedIn. You mentioned when it comes to social media, it's LinkedIn, Instagram. Is there a specific strategy you follow on LinkedIn to get that audience engaged, or is mostly organic?
It's organic. When I find someone new following me, or if I find someone is responding to my posts more often, or whether it's once or twice, I'll reach out to them to just build that connection. So I'm not the type of coach that will try to sell initially. The main thing for me is for my clients to feel comfortable. So I want to build a relationship with people. And once we've built that relationship, if I see there is a need, then we get into that conversation. But definitely building relationships with other professionals and my possible clients is my first.
Cool. And you also are active on the posts that you're posting. I believe it's like one article a week in LinkedIn, right?
Yes, I post at least one a week on LinkedIn. I do use Facebook as well, where I post videos once a week on Facebook, but it's not the channel that I use the most.
Where do you see your coaching business heading next? It's been around 2 years now since you started it. How do you see it evolving for the next 1 to 3 years? Do you have any specific goals that you're working towards?
Yeah, so definitely expanding my territory and bring it to a global level. So my clients right now are based out of Canada and the United States, and I would love to take that abroad and have clients around the world.
Cool.
Yeah.
So going international, have you see any challenges in doing that so far? Is there any challenge you're trying to solve for next to get closer to that?
Yeah, of course, there's always challenges because I'm not out physically and I'm not able to attend live events. Of course, it makes it a little bit more difficult for me because I am the type of person who likes to meet people face to face. And Zoom is a great platform, or any other platform is great to be able to connect with people worldwide. But I think attending conferences, web conferences in different parts of the world will definitely allow me to meet people from around the world. And I am part of the Maxwell leadership team, and attending that conference every 6 months will definitely help to carry through what I do and make it available globally.
Interesting. So the way you're thinking about it when it comes to like top of the funnel, trying to get people to know about your services is actually going into live events internationally, appearing in all of these conferences that would be related to that.
Yes.
That is a good strategy. And I would think that there's probably other strategies as well where you're not necessarily required to move. Like you could actually target people through LinkedIn internationally too. So that could be also another approach.
Absolutely.
So when it comes to investments that you've done, and I wanted to touch a little bit on this as well for the research paper, what have been some investments that you've done over time that you feel really good about? Either you learned a lot or you got a good return from, and what has been some investments that you don't feel so good about and you would have preferred to not have done those investments, make
Yeah.
like bad investments if any?
When you start off a business, there's always those bad investments. I think if I start with that is trying to spend too much or having all the tools right away. And what I realize is you don't need all the fancy tools right off the bat. And you can work your way through that. The positive investments, I've worked with several executive coaches. So I've worked with Dan Martell, I've worked with the Tony Robbins team. But what has impacted me the most and where I found the most value is being part of the Maxwell leadership team.
Mhm.
We are a team of, well, there's many people around the world part of the Maxwell team, but every 6 months we meet at a conference and we are able to grow, we are able to connect
Mhm.
and serve each other in any way we can as far as collaboration and speaking. That would be the best investment for me in my role right now in what I do.
Cool. Cool. Thank you. Thank you for sharing all of that. And thank you for sharing some of the coaches who have been helpful for you as well. I believe most of our audience is going to know these coaches.
For sure.
Wanted to ask you, and this is the final question, is when it comes to coaches who are thinking of scaling, and we're talking about scaling impact,
Mhm.
and you're also trying to scale your impact by going internationally. So, is there any advice you'd like to give to these coaches who are trying to scale their impact? It could be an advice you'd give to yourself, essentially.
Absolutely. That's a wonderful question. First off, I would say don't try to be everything to everyone. I think when we're starting, we're so tempted to just be available to everyone, no matter what industry or what they're looking for. So I think that would be my first advice is to niche down, find a specific group of people that you feel passionate about and to work with and go deep into understanding what their needs are.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing I would say is show up consistently. If you're going to put a video every Thursday, or if you're going to do lives or post certain tips or part of some of your contents, do it consistently so that people are used to seeing you on a regular basis and then build those relationships. And lastly, I would say, which is to me the most important thing, is to stay connected to your why. It's so easy to get lost, especially with AI helping us to create content. You know, what I see is people forgetting why they're doing what they're doing and losing their creativity because they have AI available there to create content. I think it's important that we create our own content and use AI as an assistant, but not to build completely the contents. Stay true to yourself, stay true to your why, and you'll attract people that are meant to work with you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Tanya. Thanks so much for that great advice. And thanks so much for coming to our podcast today. For anyone who wants to connect with you or find you, they can look you up on LinkedIn, Tanya Doucet. They will be able to find your profile.
Yes,
They can also go into the website tdleadership. I believe if is that the correct URL? Okay.
that
We'll
is correct.
We'll put that in the description as well so people can find it. But thank you so much, Tanya. And is there any other way people could connect with you or reach out to you?
No, those are the best ways. They can also send an email. My email is Tanya, Tanya, at tdleadership.ca.
Cool. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you so much for today.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time. Thanks you for the invitation.
That's it for this episode of Career Coaching Secrets. If you enjoyed this conversation, you can subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you're listening to this episode to catch future episodes. This podcast was brought to you by Purple Circle, where we help career coaches scale their business to $100,000 years, $100,000 months, or even $100,000 weeks, all without burning out and making sure that you're making the impact and having the life that you want. To learn more about our community and how we can help you, visit joinpurplecircle.com.